Okay guys, so for this next scene, Nemesis gets back on his feet, beats the hell out of Bumblebee, and rips him to pieces. Now this Takara Bumblebee's a bit too sturdy for that. I was thinking, hey you there. Yes, Hasbro Bumblebee, I've got the perfect role for you. I need someone to go into pieces. Okay, ready, and action. Perfect. Hello everyone, Dana 14th Prime here. Today I want to check out with you guys the Takara Transformers Movie, the best MB-20. This is Nemesis Prime. Leader class figure, he's a repaint of the Calibur Optimus Prime version. So here's how you see him packaged up. I've had him out, so his axe is in hand already. But you get some artwork over here of Nemesis. You know, he's got the red slash on the face. Some of the different guys you can collect in the line. The product shots around back here, obviously paint deco scheme, a big thing with this figure. Otherwise, I think the accessories would be the same as Calibur: an axe, a sword, a shield. Not much over there, so basically big window box. Let's pop this guy out of there and check him out. So here we have Nemesis out of the box. I mean, they make for a nice truck, this leader class figure, and they put a lot of chrome on this figure. We'll take some closer looks, but he also comes with the nice sword there in typical Optimus deco. And then he comes also with this big axe here, and your kind of typical Takara pink deco. And you'll see some pink be a theme through this figure. But this is a nice truck, I will say. Not sure how well it picks up, but you get Western Star down here. You get the W in the back of the truck on the chrome, all the chrome wheels, the chrome tanks, the chrome pipes. And these are chrome accented as well. Western Stars and silver paint there. Come to the front, nice chrome grille with the proper blue stripe in between. Autobot logo kind of molded on there. The chrome kind of overhead. Some black windows, you know, the flames, nothing to write home about probably with the flame design. It looks nice, but it's not like it's outlined, you know, or not really different shades or anything of red, orange, or anything like that. Just kind of red flames all the way through. Nice deep blue for Optimus here. Rubber tires, you know, those really feel good. You get some gunmetal gray there on kind of the footstep. The black windows go all the way around. Some silver paint accents up here for kind of headlights. And that's kind of the bulk of what we're getting here. Around back, just kind of some all black there on the end. Top of the figure there. Flames going through here as well. Of course, the trailer hitch. Some silver back here along with the chrome pipes. So sharp looking truck. I always thought the leader class mold did better as a truck. It kind of kibbly in a bot mode, though this Calibur version of it does clean some of that up. Here you've got Last Night Voyager. So you can obviously see, you know, massive improvement, obviously, considering the price point, no doubt. This guy's does a nice job. It's a nice figure, but for a truck perspective, you know, way outdone there with Nemesis. It does look good. I mean, in theory, you can kind of store weapons underneath here. This is like his backpack section. I always find it a bit, you know, not great for truck mode to try to store that stuff under there, but whatever. It could be done if you really want to kind of fidget with it and try to make it fit. But I don't think it works very good, so set those to the side probably. And then quickly, since we just took a look at him, his movie The Best Friend Bumblebee there. Got a video up on him. If you want to hop out to the channel, you can check that out. But those two, you know, they look pretty good together in alt mode, I'll say. So if we want to get into transforming Nemesis Prime here, let's go ahead and take the wheel sections here and fold those in. And then come up here to these side sections. And we just want to kind of pull these out. Like so, like so. And, you know, the upgrade they did with the Calibur mold is they sort of made him two parts, kind of parts former. So for me, I mean, I'm good just to take this off like straight away. Instructions kind of have you continue to deal with this, but this becomes the shield. It takes all the backpack kibble away. So that was the improvement. Let's just set that aside for now. So then we come back to the rest of the truck, and it's pretty simple actually. So we'll fold this up, and peg that up there nice and tight. We'll kind of put this down. That'll help store the weapons. Come around back to the front here. We can lift up the top here, split this. This is really the downfall of the mold for me, is like these huge panels. You know, that's going to be the shoulder panel. He still has huge hip skirts as well, which are here. Kind of fold these out. Got some rotating pieces to them here. Flip this down. This piece is quite fragile. I'm not crazy about it. Flip that back. And there's a tab here, and you really want to be like on the piece. Don't try to be pushing from the outside. I'm sure it'll break. On the piece here in the center, which is small, to get your hands in there and tab that in back. Then, of course, we can just kind of separate the front end here. So there we go, and then just kind of stand them up. Okay, from here, let's just get the arms out into the side. Go ahead and put the, first we're going to have to rotate the waist to get the crotch facing the right way. Then you can put the skirt down. Then you can put the chest down, and it pops out the head. You can already see the big red slash there on Nemesis. Down below here, downstairs, let's get this piece off the front end here first. Then just give a rotation for all this all the way around. And you can see his foot down there. You really need some skinny fingers for some of these things. Get the sword, pop out the foot. This piece then will rotate down like so. Come around back. I think the instructions got you doing something like that. If you prefer, it covers some gappage there, but I think it cleans up better from the front if you just tuck that behind. Leave the hollowness because you're not going to see it from the front anyway, and that hides some things better. So same thing over here. We, of course, took that off. We're going to rotate it. Come on. Rotate that around. Rotate that down. Go get our foot. And then rotate the wheels down as well. So that's basically the legs. For the hip skirts here, again, we've just made the big peg. And there's many, many hinges. You kind of, to get the positioning right, you have to kind of hinge back. It's double hinge. Then hinge back forward. So you don't get huge protrusion of that from the front. Because if you didn't double hinge back, you'd be like that. So it's sitting out way in front. Looks like a diaper or something. So you got to double hinge back, then hinge forward. And you get a bit of a cleaner look. As clean as you can for just these enormous, enormous panels. So we have all that in shape now. As you can see, we're starting to get a very nicely painted figure here. Arms, just get them how you like, right? Need to get the shoulders down, get the paint out to the side, and then the big ugly shoulder flaps, unfortunately, don't finish any better than that, which is a shame. But it is a huge improvement to the regular Optimus mold where he's typically carrying just an enormous backpack. So you can see he cleans up pretty well from silhouette. You know, there's not a lot back there. You know, for this thing, weapons and stuff will store back here. We'll get more into that, but all that cleans up nicely and has some function. If only they'd have fixed the big, enormous panels. Okay, so let's not forget about this piece. This is the kibble city that usually sits on his back. Which they have removed on this Calibur mold, thank God. So it becomes a shield. Oh, folds, check, just kind of folds down. And then here, fold these pieces back, obviously, kind of slick, you know, painted back on the back. So you get black shield there that's going to come into play. And I probably folded that together too soon. Let's get those in first on double hinge. Get these top sections down. Then bring this down, and these are just going to kind of tilt in to complete the look of the shield. That's pretty cool. This also goes down. There you go. With the pink, of course. Okay, so let's take an overview of the figure here. Again, leader class. Handcuffed mold, let's say. It's not going to be perfect. But for what they've done with the paint, you can see just tons and tons of paint. And we'll look closer at it. You can see how the weapons can store on the back. I've got those all geared up. You can see how that cleans up pretty well. A lot of beautiful chrome, obviously mainly for truck mode, but doesn't hurt in robot mode either. And really nice paint accents, particularly through the torso and legs. You get the big shield here. Different things you can do. I mean, from where unplugged, you can plug it back in. If you want to have the huge backpack on, and you can carry everything, you know, you can do it. It cleans up a bit better actually from the front than the typical cargo that this guy is carrying in his normal leader mode. But of course, he's got some peg holes here in the arm, side of the arm. You can put that bad boy there. He holds his balance pretty well, right? Gotta play with that a little bit. We'll do some kind of poses, but big shield that he can hold up front there. So let's jump in close on the guy here, and you can see really the nicest part of the figure right there looking at you, all this nice paint. The head sculpt here, I think they've done a nice job with the paint. You know, it's, as it was on this last night, you get a lot more silver through the helmet with this Prime, and you get kind of blue accents up here. You get, of course, the big red mark, blue accents on the top of the head, sort of the middle of the forehead there. So really nice. Very well sculpted and a lot of good paint. Again, with the fingers on this figure, he's got a face flip, which I just can't do. So we got to get the sword again and just kind of pull up on that. You can lift that up, and then you just rotate the face around, and you basically go from battle mask to unmasked Prime. So you can see how that looks equally good. Again, you know, the purple eyes and everything on Nemesis here, pretty sharp. All this great paint through the chest, the gold accents, the fire on the chest, really well done. Very metallic blue, Autobot logo. Just a nice silver color all the way through. Looks really great. I swear these freaking things are so big they're creating shadows. But silver arms through there. Looks good. You know, the forearms. Nice flames painted on them as well. The fingers are all silver painted as well. The kind of kilt, skirt, whatever. Blue with some silver trim on it. Looks good. Silver paint down through the legs. They've accented the red things there. If you've ever noticed, though, he's got like these almost cords kind of through his thigh, so those are there. And then down in these big chunky legs, some gold accents, silver paint, and the flames, of course. And then silver feet, red paint, a little silver trim there on the front of the kind of ankle as well. Side there, you get just the wheel and basically just a lot of the truck mode parts coming down. And then even if this was down as it should be, I mean, the side profile is just like panels. A shoulder panel into a hip panel into a bunch of leg parts. So not too great. But if you get some of this out of the way, at least, you know, you get a nice arm underneath there. Silver kind of all the way through and around the whole torso. All the way through and around the whole thigh. Right, even on the back there, it's still kind of a silverish. It's not as bright as kind of the upper thigh, but it works. Right, and then there's the chrome and just other kind of kibble and stuff. And again, if you wanted to hide gappage, you can do that. But then you see that from the front. So I just prefer to do that. Down here, the backpack area, the pipes come up and look really good. The back of the silver trim there looks good as well. This is for weapon storage. You know, one side's the same as the other. So that's Prime. Check out the accessories. Really big, long, nice sword here. Well painted, well detailed. Silver, blue, and red. Painted silver all the way down into the handle. So that looks good. Again, we've seen it before. It's big. It's literally as tall as the figure, comes up to his shoulder. We get the axe here, blue handle, kind of gunmetal top, and then pink. I'm going to focus on is there. Pink translucent plastic is difficult to focus on. But you see how they painted some of the center there of it there. The gunmetal, again, very big. You know, as big as the sword, basically. And then finally, we'll call it an accessory. It's the second transformation piece, but the shield. I always feel like I'm playing with these pieces, but to get that just right, however you want. Silver up here trim. Of course, the pink is very prominent. Some gold trim in there. Otherwise, mainly black. And then you have truck parts and stuff in the back. So it works, you know, better here than hanging off his back, I say. Very quickly, I won't spend a lot of time because it's not really a new mold. Articulation. Yeah, you can basically spin his head probably all the way around if you wanted to, so that's fine. He looks down all right. It doesn't really look... You can't even see that because of the shoulder pad. There's him looking down. Doesn't really look up. These things, you know, can go up and get out of the way. With that, you can turn the shoulder. It's got a transformation piece that even gives it like a little bit of armpit joint almost. Got a swivel at the elbow. He's got an elbow that goes 90 degrees, and then the wrist swivel as well. He has waist swivel, if you can kind of negotiate the skirts a bit. You know, nice ratchets on the legs. They're going to do the whole splits and all of that. He's got swivel at the knee, basically. Gets a 90-degree knee. And then the feet just, I don't know, they kind of rotate there because of transformation. This will go up and down a bit. I guess you get maybe just the smallest degree of rock there, but not a lot. One thing with working the hands on this mold, the hands, though they are fixed, both the thumbs tend to just kind of rotate out. That tends to be your main bet to get the accessories in there. Swing that thumb out and kind of peg them in. Same thing over there. Swing that thumb out. They've got little peg holes here, about midway to the axe. Close it up. So the one nice thing with this figure, I mean, it is like beautiful and premium, and you know when you get them posed up here, you can kind of get lost in all that, and you know the big enormous panels kind of fade into the background, so he can look good on his shelf, you know, with all his accessories and in a good pose. You know, it takes a bit of effort, but he is pretty aesthetically pleasing. I gotta say, I've always stayed away from this leader class mold. I've always thought, you know, it sucks, it's not good. So I've never bought one. Pretty pleased with what they've seen with this one, what they've done with it in terms of using the Calibur mold and getting rid of the kibble. It's about as good as it can get. So I am happy with it overall. It's exceeded my expectations just a little bit. We'll say that sword is so freaking large, it's hard to do this pose. I'm just going to keep rocking some poses, though someone out there I'm sure isn't satisfied with them. Axe is in his face, but he does have a high point and low point to hold that axe, so here he is kind of longer extension, holding lower on the axe. And this is the fun with the figure. This is Nemesis Prime. It's cool. You get the movie deco, and you get a little bit of that classic Takara flair with the pink and black. So it is a fun figure. If anything, it might be nice to have a bit stiffer toe there that flips out from the transformation. But there you have it, guys. Takara's MB-20 movie, the best, Nemesis Prime. Got them all loaded up there. The swords in the back. You know, leader class figure, which hasn't been good for Age of Extinction and Last Night in general. But again, this is the repaint of the Calibur mold, which makes some improvements by just cleaning out the backpack, making it a shield. So that improves the figure tremendously. The panels are still just, you know, god-awful and take up the whole silhouette of the figure from a side view, but at least the silhouette is still clean, given the backpack situation. The accessories are nice. The paint is stellar. The use of color overall is very high quality. The figure feels great in hand, good ratchets, solid build. It's fun to play with, you know, it's not really difficult to transform, and looks good posed up. I mean, you strike some poses, and again, some of those complaints just sort of fade into the background because the things that jump out at you become, you know, the presence of the figure, the size, the chrome, the paint, all of those good things that we've talked about. So given that, happy with the figure, you know, I'll throw him on a shelf as my only investment in a leader class Prime from those two movies, and be pretty happy with that. Links in the description below if you're interested in picking up Nemesis Prime here or any Transformers, or frankly any shopping you do through those links is appreciated. Supports the channel at no cost to you. Any like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff helps as well. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram. Same handle, Dana14 Prime. All right, guys, thanks for checking in. See you next time.